Hello everyone, Mr. Power 46 here, and welcome to Let's Play Dot. Now, sorry for ending the episode early last time. I had to go answer the door. Turns out no one was there. And also I don't edit these, so... And I don't want to start now. So, this is episode 4. We just talked to the Edison brothers, who both want to be artists. Now, that's a right-handed hammer. We have a left-handed hammer. One's left-handed, the other's right-handed. So, let's just wait for a second and switch them. And now, since it's a left-handed hammer, he has trouble hitting the
Oh,
chisel.
where hath gone the muse that once guided my hand with such care? Must inspiration be so transitory? Must art be so cruel? I'm a failure. Don't say that, Ned. Father was right.
Now,
we Edisons
you have to
are
be a
made
jerk to everyone
scientists,
in
not artists.
Day of the Tentacle,
Dear
much
brother,
like most
we must
other...
be strong in these times of creative adversity. Why don't you let me take over for a while? I'll clean this rubble up and start over. You relax. Have a cappuccino.
A cappuccino, eh?
I'm glad we switched places.
This solves a
I
puzzle
think you're
later.
coming out quite well.
This is a puzzle that we didn't need to do quite yet, and we wouldn't even know the results of trying to do it otherwise. It's in the present. That's a statue. We'll get to that later. Meanwhile, again, which 400 years later, meanwhile, that doesn't work. But oh well. Since I'm tired of her doing that, first of all, I'll pick up this red paint. Now, I'll need this squeaky mouse toy later.
Yipe.
But the cat does not appreciate that. So, that distracts the cat, but not long enough for us to get the toy. And if you use Jed's bed, it just makes a clunk noise instead of a squeaky mattress noise. So, if you use the squeaky mattress with the other bed, and this is great.
Sounds like the cat's caught a moose up there.
You don't get quite the same effect if you don't have subtitles on like I did there. It's funny. So now, if I use Jed's bed, it squeaks, and I can get the cat toy. And of course, the one detail of the butt being modeled. And we'll need to know that we can get here through that a little bit later. But for now... And then I press both at the same time. So what do I have? Oh yes. Now, Laverne's stuck in the kumquat tree that's out here. So, we need to make it look like a cherry tree. So of course we paint the kumquats. No one thinks anything of a red... of the size of the cherries for some reason. But before we free Laverne, so that she can go to a second prison, let's combine
the water's
some things in
all
our
sudsy now.
inventory and wash this carriage. Because it's 30.
Dum-de-dum.
This puzzle, I'm sure if I was in the US and I actually drove
Looks like
cars,
a big
I am in the
storm.
US, but I don't
See,
do the
this is
second
why I
one.
never wash my car.
This would have come straight to me.
Hey, Ben.
Because
Oh,
superstition,
it's you.
it's always...
Where are you going?
It
What about
rains
your
just
experiment?
enough to dirty up your car when it rains.
Even science sometimes gets cold on account of rain, my boy.
But how are you ever going to get lightning if you're not going to stand out in a storm?
It's a good
To
question.
be frank, which I am, I don't know. The science of electrodynamics, much like your mind apparently, is
That's a
still
little
in a
rude,
state
isn't
of
it?
relative infancy. Back
Oh,
to the drawing board, I say.
What a genius.
Now, the problem he has is his kite is not water resistant enough to stay up in the air. But we'll get to that in a minute. First, let's go back to here. And let's talk to George Washington.
Excuse me.
And notice that
Yes?
in the background, it's red.
I've been thinking about what you said about cherry trees.
Pondering the great truths, eh? Well,
Well,
I bet you
and if you
lost
say,
it.
would you give me a
couldn't cut
demonstration,
down
he'd
a
say,
tree to save your
he'd say,
grandmother.
no, I don't
lost
need
it,
to
have
demonstrate.
I? Why, I'd show you a thing or two if there were a cherry tree nearby.
But if you choose that option,
But
he
as you
goes,
can see, there...
okay,
Oh, well, what do you know? There
you don't
is a cherry
believe me
tree
that
out
I
there.
can do it? Well,
let's
then
go chop the
I'll
sucker
do
down.
it if there's a cherry tree. Which, now there is a cherry tree. And now there is no
I said
longer
come down from there
a
at
cherry.
once.
Try
Tree.
to understand. I'm stuck in this.
And the tree's gone. Now, some of these jokes,
Voila.
this was
You're
before,
quite a man.
this was a little bit
Yes, I
before
know.
the ESRB, so some of the jokes make it a little dark. It actually became T-rated when they did the remastered version. So now I can play as Laverne. So what do I do next is my question. Guess we'll find out next episode, even though this is a much shorter episode. So, until next time, no idea how to do an outro. Goodbye.